I'm Attorney General Tom Corbett. Every day across Pennsylvania, students are afraid to go to school. Not because of a big test or the homework they didn't do, but because of the time spent on their computers being tormented by peers who use hateful words to bully. Bullying is no longer a shove on the playground or a whisper in the hall. It's moved to cyberspace, where chat rooms, social networking sites, and even a cell phone can be used to spread rumors and send vicious attacks on innocent victims. Make no mistake about it, this type of bullying, called cyberbullying, is not acceptable and can be illegal. A physical fight may leave you with a bruise or a broken bone. Both will heal. The effects of cyberbullying can last a lifetime.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Oh, nobody likes you.
She's so fat.
Go away. You're so sweet.
She's so ugly.
But words will never hurt me.
Let's talk about cyberbullying. What do you think cyberbullying is? First off, what's a bully?
Somebody who repetitively harasses somebody and does stuff that hurts their feelings.
Do you see anybody bullying in school?
Yeah.
You see it physically, right?
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
But today we have another area. We have the cyber world. I assume all of you go home and get on the internet.
Yeah.
And all of you have cell phones that you can text with. Do you know anybody that's ever had somebody bully them using the internet? You're using your text messages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's been, like, through text messages, that's where I see it the most, with stuff said or stuff sent through a text message that becomes a huge deal, either at school or just through a group of friends.
I'm in 8th grade at Manheim Central Middle School. I play field hockey and I love to smile and just laugh and have fun. I spend most of my time texting. It's all the time. It's just a thing to do, and we're always on the internet. It's not a day we're not. About a year ago when I was in 7th grade, I was picked on a lot. These girls are in a grade above me. They picked on me every day and bullied me and posted things about me on the internet, and just awful things. There was a spot on the bus 5 minutes from school. I would start to get really nervous and get really sick to my stomach because I knew that what was coming that day was coming every day. I knew that I'd get to school and there'd just be more, and I just wanted to get home. We started sending messages back to them. We thought that sticking up would make it stop. It actually made it a lot worse, and things started getting really bad. And I got more scared. Me and my friend were talking, and she commented on my page, which everybody could see. And she said that she was tired of it and that she wanted to bring a gun to school, and she wanted to shoot these girls. And I replied back, yeah, I have some ideas, and that's all it took.
Once we were notified of the threats, Gabriella was immediately arrested.
I got pulled out of class. I never would have thought that I would ever go through this. I was a perfect student at school, and then to find out I was arrested, it ruined everything.
She began to cry when she realized that her freedom had been taken away, all because of making threats.
I was so scared. I couldn't think right. I was just so lost and I wasn't sure what's going on. I kept thinking that these girls were going to get in trouble for what they said to me, and then to find out later that they didn't get anything. They just were free.
She didn't like the way she was being treated, so instead of just telling somebody, which would be the right thing to do, she took the law into her own hands and said that she was going to kill somebody.
I went to the police station. They arrested me there. Then I was sent to the juvenile detention center.
Gabrielle was photographed, fingerprinted, handcuffed, and taken to the Youth Intervention Center.
It was really lonely here. I was in a little cell. So much time to think about things and regret the things you did.
It's a very sad state of affairs when you have to arrest a 13-year-old girl.
I started off being bullied, and the way I responded, that turned me into the bully. It's not worth it. Now that I've been through all this, and I'm telling you, I was sitting there once. Tell a teacher, don't let it get bad. Deal with it right away. Don't fight back either. It just makes it worse, and people may think it's a joke and that you get suspension, it'll be all right. No, you'll end up here.
Who's the victims here? I mean, who's getting bullied?
It's really anybody, because anybody can get behind a computer or anybody can get on a phone and send text messages.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily the star athlete on the football team doesn't get bullied. He could get bullied.
Yeah.
The cheerleader could get bullied.
Yeah.
The best computer person can get bullied.
Yeah.
The teacher's pet can get bullied.
Basically, anybody that has a flaw to one person.
And that's everybody.
And that's everybody.
Not even that,
Nobody's
like,
perfect.
It might not be that that person harmed them or did something to them that made them want to send something bad about them.
Yeah.
So
They
I
can
think
just
that there's,
feel like it one day.
I think there's that aspect of like, you do it because you can.
Jeff was our golden child, and we loved him so much.
Jeff was really unique, and he was so loving and so caring, and he was definitely different from everyone else.
He had a group of friends in the neighborhood. He breezed through academics. He loved his teachers, and he loved learning, and they just doted on him.
We had probably a good clique of 5 or 6 people that we just stayed friends throughout middle school, and we weren't really part of the popular crowd, and we didn't really dress the same as everyone, and we weren't interested in the same things as everyone else. There was one kid that continuously decided to pick on him and bully him, and he was a terrible kid. He picked on everyone. He was just flat out mean to everybody.
I heard him talking on the phone one day after school, and I could just tell from this little note in his voice that he was upset. And I lifted up the phone and heard this boy's voice for the first time, this bully.
He would just call him gay and just relentlessly pick on him about his hair and his clothes and how he dressed and how he walked and talked, and anything that he could find to pick on him for, he did.
They would call him the Crypt Keeper. They would make fun of the way he talked, he dressed, his mannerisms. They called him fat and ugly and stupid. They just made it miserable. Between 7th and 8th grade, the bullying moved on to the internet. And from there, it just seemed unstoppable.
This kid was a smart kid. He knew how to hack into stuff, and he would get into people's instant messaging, and he would pretend to be someone else and pick on Jeff, just so Jeff would think that everyone hated him.
Jeff could be in the class with the other kids, and they'd all work together and get along fine and everything, but once this boy was here, Jeff became the target. Jeff was so humiliated by what they were saying and what was happening that he didn't want the people that he loved most to know about it. He was just too embarrassed to tell them, so he kept it all inside.
I don't think anyone ever noticed what was happening because it was happening all over the internet. And, you know, it was only happening to him. It wasn't things that, you know, his friends could see or his mom could see or anything. It was just him.
It was just a regular night. I came down about 11:30. It was summertime, and I called down over the banister and asked him, come on up to bed. And he said, I just want to finish up this one email, Mom. And I said, okay, and came downstairs, and we sat and talked for a while. I pushed the bangs back out of his eyes and kissed his forehead and said goodnight. That morning, I went in to wake up Jeff. I opened the door and looked in his room, but didn't see him asleep in his bed. So I went into my son Joe's room. Joey was still asleep, and I told him, I can't find Jeff. He's not in his room. Joe got up, headed up the stairs, telling me all the way, oh, he's just fallen asleep on the other side of the bed or under the bed or something. You just missed him. And when he opened the door into his room, we saw him hanging in his closet. Joey ran over and lifted him down. I just remember hearing someone scream no over and over again. It was like I was watching it from somewhere far above me. I didn't even realize that I was the one screaming no.
I think that he just finally broke down. You know, it gets to a certain point where it's completely unbearable.
Because there was no law at the time that made it a crime to drive another person to their death using the computer, nothing happened.
He should have been punished for what he had done. In my eyes, it's just the same as murdering someone.
As bad as it makes you feel to betray a friend's trust, none of that can hold a candle to how bad it feels to bury your friend, or how hard it is to live with the guilt of knowing that you might have done something, but you didn't. And when you're being bullied, when you're being tormented and humiliated, sometimes you can't stand up for yourself. You just wait for a hero. You can be that hero.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Sadly, we all know this isn't true. Words do hurt. They break your heart and they bruise your spirit. The pain is very real. Take a stand against those who hurt your friends or classmates. Tell a teacher, a parent, a friend, if you or someone you know is being bullied. Don't just assume the taunting will stop. Make it stop. And please, do it before it's too late.